2018 is fast approaching and 2017 is coming to an end, so right now I think it'd be a good time for me to go and look into 2018 and find my most anticipated of the year through 3 separate lists. Why 3? Well, there's just a lot to look through, but my 3 lists are sequels, originals, and surprises. This is my list for my most anticipated sequels of 2018, and I define a sequel by it not being the first of its franchise of that title, which is just what a sequel is. I don't really know why I defined it, but anyway, let's just get onto the list. Number 10, The Predator. Directed by Shane Black, director of The Nice Guys. Not much is known about the plot at this point. Actor Thomas Jane said that the group is they're a group of PTSD-ridden soldiers who are stuck with a guy who was marked to kill by the Predators. There was also a rumor that this movie would be set in the suburbs too, which is fine, I guess. I mean, it's very different from what we've had before. But The Predator stars Keegan-Michael Key, Sterling K. Brown, Olivia Munn, Boyd Holbrook, Trevante Rhodes, and for some reason, Jacob Tremblay. Number 9. X-Men Dark Phoenix. Directed by the writer of most of the X-Men movies and the Fantastic Four reboot.
It's fantastic.
Say that again?
The 7th direct X-Men film takes place in the early 90s, roughly 10 years after X-Men Apocalypse, as Jean Grey is developing those superpowers, corrupting her to become the Dark Phoenix, which is a thing that she was at the end of X-Men Apocalypse, not as someone I heard who said, "That's the Mockingjay?" Fun fact, Mockingjays aren't real and they only apply to the Hunger Games franchise. Hashtag, it's not a Mockingjay. But in addition to the large cast, Jessica Chastain has joined in an unknown villain role. But I think she's a bad guy for the Dark Phoenix, and according to IMDb, Daniel Cudmore is returning too. He played Colossus in the OG X-Men trilogy and Days of Future Past, but he didn't play him in Deadpool, only meaning that Colossus is the most confusing character ever. Number 8. Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. Second in the 5-film planned franchise, The Crimes of Grindelwald marks the 6th film David Yates has directed of the Harry Potter franchise. It also stars the returning cast too, including Eddie Redmayne, Catherine Waterston, like Jacob and Teenie as well. But for some reason we also have Ezra Miller returning as Credence and that fantastic beast of a haircut. I wish I had one like that. But Jude Law is playing a young Dumbledore and Johnny Depp is playing Gellert Grindelwald, and Zoe Kravitz has joined the cast too as a young Lita Lestrange. But Grindelwald has escaped prison again, so Dumbledore, in desperate trying to find him, enlists the help of Newt Scamander and his friends too to help solve him, because you know, they did it last time. Number 7. Ralph Breaks the Internet, Wreck-It Ralph 2. Finally a sequel, at least the wait wasn't as long as The Incredibles 2. So Ralph and his friends, they discover an internet router in the arcade and they go into the internet router and they go online to have another adventure, and you will not believe the amount of characters that reportedly show up in this movie. The list includes the returning cast from the first movie and Anna, Elsa, Moana, Rapunzel, Merida, Mulan, C-3PO, Pocahontas, Tiana, Cinderella, Belle, Ariel, Jasmine, Aurora, and Snow White, and rumour has it that R2-D2, Iron Man, Gamora, and Stan Lee will be in the movie too. Number 6. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. The sequel to what I found is the surprise monster hit, Jurassic World. Like seriously, I guess this movie would make $88 million in its first 3 days in America. It made over $200 million. But it's directed by J.A. Bayona, director of A Monster Calls, so in J.A. Bayona we trust. And Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, they're returning back to the island to save the dinosaurs from another extinction because there is a volcano there and it's about to erupt and kill the dinosaurs again. So it looks like there'll be a lot of animal rights activists talk throughout the movie, providing different perspectives that we haven't really seen before in a Jurassic Park movie. There also seems to be a higher influence of practical effects.
On this movie, we are dealing with real animatronic dinosaurs.
It looks like a real dinosaur. I couldn't help but freak out the entire time.
Except for a few scenes that don't quite look it. But let me be honest, if you're gonna say how practical effects, I expect that volcano to be a practical effect. None of the CGI crap. I want, like, practical effects for volcanoes. Also, Jeff Goldblum is back, and that's amazing because
Goldblum is daddy. I think that's complimentary. I think that means I'm sexy. Daddy, hey daddy.
Number 5. Mission Impossible 6. Hey, have you ever wondered why Henry Cavill's face looked so rubbery and weird in Justice League? Well, it's because of this movie, and Warner Brothers wasn't allowed to shave off Henry Cavill's sweet stash. As of recording, no plot details have been released for Mission Impossible 6, but it's directed by Christopher McQuarrie, who directed Mission Impossible 5, and Michelle Monaghan and Rebecca Ferguson will be returning back to the franchise, making them the first female characters to return to a sequel of Mission Impossible in a large prominent role. I mean, Michelle Monaghan did it a little bit in Ghost Protocol, but that doesn't really count because she was in there for like 15 seconds. Number 4. Ant-Man and the Wasp. The sequel to 2015's Ant-Man, Ant-Man and the Wasp takes place after Captain America Civil War, but before Avengers Infinity War. Most of the cast is set to return too, minus Corey Stoll for obvious reasons. It was a scheduling conflict thing. Walton Goggins is set to be playing the villain, but we also seem to be getting some new characters too. Michelle Pfeiffer looks to be playing Janet Van Dyne, Hope Van Dyne's mother, and she played the previous Wasp the same way Michael Douglas played the previous Ant-Man. Lawrence Fishburne also seems to be playing another older superhero named Goliath. He can change size too, sort of ditching the Perry White role he'll have in the DCEU. But one character on the IMDb page seems to stand out unlike any other. Vanessa Ross looks to be playing the hot jogger. I would be very interested in how a character like that is incorporated into a Marvel movie. Number 3, Deadpool 2. The first Deadpool was a larger surprise than anyone would have anticipated, the highlight of the movie being the marketing campaign. Deadpool 2 seems to be following that tradition effortlessly, as it already has an awesome marketing campaign along with a plot that was released by 20th Century Fox, as it reads. After surviving a near-fatal knee-boarding accident, a disfigured guidance counselor, Wade Wilson, struggles to fulfill his dream of becoming Paris-Cape's most celebrated French bulldog breeder while also learning to cope with an open relationship. Searching to regain his passion for life, as well as a new stuffed unicorn, Wade must battle ninjas, tight-ass metal men, and babysit a group of stereotypical side characters as he journeys around the world to discover the importance of family, friendship, and creative outlets for his very open-minded sex life. He manages to find a new lust for being a do-gooder, a sparkly Hello Kitty backpack, all while earning the coveted coffee mug title of World's Best Fourth Wall Breaking Superhero. In addition to Ryan Reynolds' return, so will TJ Miller, Colossus, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, Vanessa, Dopinder, and Blind Owl will returning, as well as some newcomers like Josh Brolin as Cable and Zazie Beetz as Domino, as well as Julian Dennison.
Hector Faulkner, 65, and Richard Baker, 13, have been missing now for 6 weeks. Faulkner is Caucasian. Well, they got that wrong because you're obviously white.
In an unnamed role for so far. But he does this in the trailer. Quick, I know. Number 2, The Incredibles 2. Finally, The Incredibles 2. The wait has been so long. What is known about the sequel is not much. We know it takes place right after the first movie, and the family now knows that Jack has superpowers as seen in the trailer. But what has been told is that Elastigirl is out saving the world whilst Mr. Incredible is at home looking after the kids. So please let this be good. Number 1, Avengers Infinity War. Otherwise known as the culmination of the MCU, Avengers Infinity War is said to have an action set piece with over 30 characters, and over 60 characters are said to be returning from their respective movies in the MCU. This is alongside a $1 billion budget, but Thanos, who was teased in the end credits of Avengers, who was teased in Guardians of the Galaxy and in the end credits of Age of Ultron, is finally the big bad guy in Infinity War, with all the Infinity Stones which have been scattered across the Marvel movies. The trailer has become the most watched in 24 hours of all time, and there is so much to be excited for. The newcomers to this monstrously large cast that is the MCU is Josh Brolin in a larger role as Thanos. He played Thanos in Guardians of the Galaxy and Age of Ultron, but not in the Avengers. He was played by a stuntman then. As well as Peter Dinklage, who is currently in an unknown role of yet. And hopefully we hear the iconic phrase, Avengers Assemble, and not this.
Avengers!
We were so close. And that's my list. What are your most anticipated sequels of 2018? Let me know in the comments down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to see my most anticipated original movies and surprises of 2018, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Oh wow, you made it to the end of the video. Good job. Click that subscribe button over there for more good content, or click one of these 2 videos down below, which is probably one of my most recent ones, probably. I mean, you know, just click either one of them. Either one's really good enough.